When I was a girl, I thought that God had damned me because I was born into a satanic cult. I hated every second of it. I look back on that time and I'm just like, damn, like what a waste. The only thing that this cult hasn't really wasted is my artistic endeavors. And I have to turn it into art or else I will lose myself. I was forced to be someone's plaything my whole life. I was forced to become a musician against my will. There's just a lot of spiritual bullshit too that happened. I'm sure there are people out there who kind of are aware of people like this, but if you're not, I'm sorry because I feel like a burden telling this to people, but I feel called to talk about it because I don't feel a danger anymore. I don't feel that I am in danger because I escaped. And I think it is my destiny to talk about it. This makes me so uncomfortable, but I have to speak from my inner adult because my inner child, inner tween, inner teen, inner baby even, they're freaking out right now. So, to lay some ground, set the scene, if you will. I essentially, my whole life, was supposed to pretend in the day that I was a regular person, so no one really knew who I was or what I was. And my specific family, we didn't really go out anywhere. We weren't too social, so this wasn't something anyone who wasn't a part of the cult, who knew us, would figure out. And we kind of participated in a little bit of things like in Ethiopian culture. And I just feel kind of bad because it's you never think, especially Ethiopians, we're very there's a sense of vulnerability in how much we love being good. And we love just kind of our community and especially our faith. And so one of my biggest fears when talking about this is that I'm afraid that if I tell people I was a part of a satanic cult, that Ethiopia will hate me, that Ethiopians will be against me. But I think my people have to know. They have to know that there's scum out there that are hurting their children and hurting themselves and hurting people. And it was right under your nose. So I'm sorry, but also I'm not, because I don't care. I have to say it. I have to tell you something that will make you uncomfortable. And granted, I know, once you hear the full length of my story, many will understand, because I think it's mainly Christians. And honestly, I feel like I judge Christians because in the cult, to keep you away from God, one of the things they would tell you out of fear, because we worship Satan, is that God will never love you, Christians will never love you. When in reality, I have already found a lot of kindness when I've told this story, and each time I tell it, I get better at telling it, so why not? So, and I guess, I don't know, I mean, Christians who are well learned, and I just overthink. So let's just get back to the main thing, right? We were pretending to be good Christian Ethiopians, bottom line, okay? And over time, because these people kind of knew what I was, right? The whole point of this cult is, and we'll get into detail, it'll all make sense later, but the whole point of this cult is to reverse the soul, right? In Christianity, Satan tries to reverse you. He tries to make you the opposite of who you are. Good is bad, bad is good. Just stupid temptations, basic practical knowledge that you know about going against yourself. This cult does to 1,000%, right? 1,000%. 1,000%. And so that's what I did. In the daytime, I'm Marinette. There's something about me that, it was like that. But for a few hours of the day, and it's a whole other thing, but I was a girl. And at night, I was a demon worshiper against my will. And it's so sad because no one wants to be in the cult. And it became clear to me as I remembered my memories, because I literally had amnesia because I escaped and I forgot everything. But no one wants to do evil things. No one wants to sacrifice, or, excuse me for saying, but rape or murder. And if you want more of a practical context, there's a documentary on YouTube by Mary Knight with a K, K-N-I-G-T. Oh no, K-N-I-G-H-T, and I think it's called, like, I don't know, I forgot. Just look up Satanic Cult Mary Knight, and you'll find just her story. It's really gruesome, and I was a part of a higher form of the cult. We'll get into it, but for now, we're just introducing. And honestly, when I saw her video, and I don't know, 'cause she was still working through her memories and some of the other things I saw of her, but I was just like, I was almost like, thank God you only went through that, Because what I went through was a lot more shocking. And I was like, thank God it was only that. And for both your hearts and for mine, I know I went through that for a reason. Because the people in this cult are despicable. And they need to be saved. They need to save themselves, because this can't go on.